I think passive evolution is probably part of a broad and frankly inexorable sweep towards the acceleration of the provision of kind of frankly very precise and very targeted data. So, that's not uncommon, I think. If we look around our lives, we see, the very fabric of what we do changing day by day. It could be smart watches, the Internet of Things, where you're taking an existing kind of analog thing and then introducing digital technologies and you're making it better. So frankly, we're doing a very similar thing really with our TV Sync work, and TV Sync for us is really the use of ACR. ACR is automatic content recognition. It's a technology that glues together effectively what you're seeing on the main screen with what you're seeing on a secondary digital screen. And we've seen, kind of great adoption for that across the piece, whether it's programming, whether it's in the ad space. I mean, examples in programming, I guess, would be things like work with Channel 4 for the Grand National, work with the BBC for their kids programs, things like Gory Games, where you're delivering an enriched experience for the viewer by simply meshing together what's airing on TV with what can be delivered on digital. And I think what we're now seeing in terms of the ad space, you're seeing this powerful combination, this kind of new paradigm where you have TV, fantastic medium, generates great emotion, generates intent in a very powerful way, laugh, cry, buy. And then, of course, you bring together the power of digital, the ability to harvest intent. And I think historically those two things have maybe been slightly siloed. But what we're seeing now is this combination brought together or enabled by TV Sync, by ACR, and that's delivering, I think, benefits to advertisers, to consumers, and the consumers, whether it's programming, whether it's the right ad being delivered at the right time, and it may not be right now. It may be there may be a lag. It may be a complementary ad. It may be a conquesting or guerrilla ad. So I think what it's enabling is much more. I hesitate to use the phrase big data, but it's enabling the right data to be provided in the right time at the right way. Civolution actually uses TV Sync in a number of ways, and we can use it within devices, so kind of the Shazam model. It can be triggered within a TV set, for example, so you can have a device-to-device interaction. But I think what we're seeing, and we've certainly seen sort of significant evidence of the efficacy of this in the work we've done with people like Twitter and Facebook, where we've seen significant uplifts in engagement and yield, is you're watching something on TV. It could be your favorite show. You get to the ad break. Well, we all know that unfortunately many would-be viewers at the ad break are actually now drifting away to other, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter, it could be anything, any digital property. So that's an opportunity, it's a threat and an opportunity. The threat is obviously that you've lost the viewers. The lovely, wonderfully creative new ad you've generated actually is not being aired. It's not being watched. What we do then is we know what's airing on TV. We know that wonderful new creative is airing right now. So we can, via bidding platforms, then serve you a complementary ad, or it could be a guerrilla ad. So we're simply listening to the output of the TV on the basis that we know what's airing, and then we are working with the ad ecosystem to deliver relevant advertising to you, the consumer, while you're sitting there not looking at the ad on TV. So the way we see that is actually, the old statement used to be, I know that 50% of my advertising works, I just don't know which 50%. I think now what we're seeing is I know that maybe 90-something% of my advertising works. So you've seen a massive increase in efficiency, I think. I think for Civolution, the way we define the second screen is broadly any screen that's frankly not what historically has been viewed as the primary screen, which is in essence the TV. It need not, though, of course, always be the TV. So as an example, we work with the Vienna State Opera, and what we do is they have many customers, many fans around the world. Those fans can't all get to Vienna. So via a VOD offering, we actually sync between what's live on stage. So that in this case is kind of, the primary screen. The second screen could be any of their digital properties. But there is this vast distance, but we're enabling an interaction between multiple screens. So frankly, I think what we're really talking about now is maybe not so much second screen, The way we view it is more about cross-screen. Because I don't know, I'm not a visionary. I wouldn't, claim to say that in 5 years' time the TV is going to be the primary screen. It may not be. So I think for us, it's finding or helping the content and the ad industry to create experiences that are relevant across multiple devices. And I think that's maybe where the second screen industry got kind of hung up. It tried to define, what was the primary screen and what was therefore the secondary screen. And actually, I think if you're a consumer, you don't maybe care about that anymore. What you care about is having, it's the old Martini media thing. It's, the right thing, or anytime, anywhere, any place. So I think the second screen industry has, it's very new, really, if we look at it in the sweep of history. It's, only 2 or 3 years old. So frankly, I don't even think we've really scratched the surface of what this thing means. All we know is that our ability to sync together multiple screens and therefore multiple experiences across screens actually is to the benefit of the consumer. And if it's to the benefit of the consumer, then actually we think that's a win also for the industry that surrounds it, whether it's the advertising industry or the content industry.